You will please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Especially liberty and especially justice.
Welcome, everyone. Today we're meeting to reconvene our hearing in the matter of the elections protest of Dennis C. Smith, Jr. for Town of Godwin Board of Commissioners, which was recessed on January 16, 2026, to allow for subpoenaed witnesses to be served and available to testify today. Let me call out the names of the people who were subpoenaed today. We didn't do this last time before we started, and please just indicate by raising your hand if you're present. Winifred Corpus, thank you. Jacqueline Cooper Kelly, thank you. Curtis Fort, thank you. Deborah Tu, thank you. And Patricia Corpus. Patrina, I'm sorry, Patrina. I wrote it down wrong. Thank you. This hearing has been scheduled to comply with an order from the North Carolina State Board of Elections received on December 31st, 2025, and served on all affected parties, to reconvene the evidentiary hearing of this election protest originally heard in this county on December 2nd, 2025. By order of the North Carolina State Board of Elections, this board shall receive and consider any new testimony or evidence, along with the evidence already in the record from the December 2nd and January 6th hearings, when making new findings of fact on this protest. When making such findings of fact, this county shall also take into account whether any new evidence or testimony impeaches the testimony of the town clerk. This is a quasi-judicial hearing. The board will allow evidence to be presented in the form of affidavits and supporting documents, as well as live witness testimony. This meeting is being recorded. The burden of proof in this matter is on the protester to show by a preponderance of the evidence received here today and in previously convened hearings that the results of the November 4th, 2025 Godwin Town Commissioners election have been cast in doubt. This board may receive new evidence today not available at the time of the December 2nd, 2025 hearing from any person with information concerning this protest, subject to the North Carolina Rules of Evidence. I'll allow the protester to identify himself for the record. He's here, Mr. Smith. Thank you. And any candidate in the election under protest to identify themselves, please, or any of the other candidates here. Okay. And those are the interested parties who may want to take part in this hearing today. Mr. Smith, do you wish to add anything to your previous opening statement? That would be a summary of the new evidence and facts and evidence you intend to prove today with the witnesses that have been subpoenaed and present.
Yes.
Step forward. Helen, do we need to swear these witnesses again today, even though this is a resumed hearing?
I would do it
Out of abundance of caution. I hear you. Thank you. Hold on there just a second, Mr. Smith. We're going to administer the oath again to you if you'll raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in this cause will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. Go ahead and make your opening statement. And that would be a summary of the testimony you expect to your witnesses to provide to us today.
Okay. First, I'd like to say good morning to the members of the board. My name is Dennis Smith, Sr., and I'm here today again regarding serious allegations of election misconduct in the town of Godwin. I want to begin by honoring my cousin Ann, who passed away about a week ago, who courageously came forward on January 16 to testify about illegal coercive action taken by the town clerk. I would not have known about this election misconduct if it wasn't for my dear cousin Ann. Tragically, Ann passed away the following day, and I am continuing to fight in her memory. The facts of this case are deeply concerning. The town clerk, Cooper Kelly, sent unsolicited text messages to voters instructing them how to vote. To date, it is confirmed that a total of 5 people were texted, and as of July 16, 2026, 2 of these people, recipients, had already came forward, being Ann and Curtis Fort. This conduct violates Carolina NCGS 163-273 regarding interference with voters. The clerk's false statement under oath and only 2 people that only 2 people were contacted constitutes a violation of the NCGS 163-275, which prohibits false statements in relation to elections. The local board of elections initially dismissed this complaint, but I appealed it to the state board, highlighting that there was more witnesses and that the misconduct affected multiple voters, not just 1 or 2, as previously spoken. Since that time, the town clerk board of clerk, Kelly Cooker, was dismissed from her job due to poor work performance, as reported by the City View News. This action underscores the administration's failure to reinforce the need for a revote, as the previous election was compromised by misconduct and unlawful influence. Today, I am here not only as a candidate, but a citizen advocating every voter in Godwin. The evidence shows the election was conducted under unlawful influence, intimidation, and false representation. I respectfully ask the board to review all the evidence, testimony, and consider that the only fair and lawful remedy is a revote conducted under strict oversight to ensure compliance with North Carolina laws and restore voter confidence. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. You may proceed to offer any new evidence you wish to present today, including the presentation of the witnesses that you asked to have present here today.
Okay, I just called a witness for it then.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm back over here, right?
Yes.
One question with Curtis Forte.
Speak into the mic, please.
Curtis Forte had already gave his previous statements. Do we need to redo that?
We don't need to redo anything. We don't need to go over priorly plowed ground. Mr. Fort was subpoenaed here because he was subpoenaed originally,
Right.
and because if there are any follow-up questions or questions by other candidates or interested parties, he needs to be available.
Okay.
You just call the witnesses that are going to present new evidence today, okay?
All right. So the first witness I call is Ms. Patrina Corpus.
Patrina, you need to step up to the mic, and if there's a Bible there and you want to be sworn in on the Bible, you can use that. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in this cause shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
We can't hear you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Smith, you may proceed with your witness.
Okay. On election day, which was November 2nd, I think, did you receive a text from the town clerk stating to vote for the...
Mr. Smith, remember to ask your questions without giving the answer in your question, okay?
The question is, did she receive a text from the clerk? I've asked that question in the last one. So that's my question. Did you receive the same text? Well, did you receive a text from the clerk stating not to vote for me, basically to vote for everybody else that's already on the board?
Yes.
Could you speak up for the...
Yes.
Thank you.
Really, that's the only question I have for her.
Okay.
I'm done.
No.
We have one more question.
Board members?
Do you still have that text?
I do.
Do you have it with you? Can we see it? I know it's been a long time.
And if we do, would you please read it into the record for us?
You want me to just show it to y'all, or?
Please.
If you'll first read it into the record.
Well, it says, "Good morning, Miss Winnie, Patrina, and Nakia. I didn't have a chance to call you earlier, but if you are voting today, would you please vote for George Cooper, Joseph Smith, Ronald McNeil, and Scarlett Hall? We would like to keep the board with the same commissioners. Thank you for your support and love you."
Thank you.
If you don't mind, would you pass it around so we can see it?
We won't keep your phone as evidence.
I appreciate it. This says that it was sent to you and 2 others. Do you happen to know who the 2 others are?
My mother.
Okay. So it is people that are here.
Well, no.
One of them is. Okay. I appreciate it.
I'm sorry, who were the other 2 people who received it?
My mother and my sister.
And could you give us their names, please?
It's in the text.
Miss Winnie,
Would you-
Katrina, and Nakia?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Nakia is not one of the subpoenaed witnesses here today?
No, I don't know exactly how many was called, but I came up with 5, so now we're at 6.
Katrina, do you know approximately when you received the text? Is it early that morning?
I think we can look.
Tuesday the 4th at 6:13 a.m.
6:13 a.m. Okay.
Speaking to the mic.
Loud voice. Did everybody hear me?
I did.
The
Yes.
recording has to hear you.
Yes. We need to speak into the mic because it's recording. We have to be able to do
Okay.
a transcript. If you're not picked up, then the transcript is going to be incomplete. So please, everyone, speak into the mic when you're speaking.
All right, we'll do.
And what is Nakia's last name?
Corpus.
Thank you.
Katrina, what's your last name again?
Corpus.
I'm sorry, I'll say it again. What is your last name, ma'am?
Corpus.
All right.
Corpus.
Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody else, any other members of the board have any questions for Ms. Corpus?
I have one question. Do you know where she got your number from?
Well, I'm on quite a few of the
Speak into the
committees.
mic, ma'am.
I'm on a few of the committees in Godwin already.
Okay.
Like, I'm on Community Watch, and I go to the town meetings.
Okay. Do you normally text with her, or is this just a?
It's just usually like updates on the meetings, like
Okay.
Community Watch meetings, if they're been canceled, or an update on that. That's about it.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
So my understanding is then that she knows you and has your contact information as a result of her work as the town clerk in Godwin. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions?
So just to button it up, you two are not acquaintances or friends. You have a professional relationship with her being the clerk and you
Well,
being
I mean, I know her outside of, because I mean, we all from Godwin.
Okay.
We all, grew up together.
It's a small
I mean, of
town.
course, she's older than me, but
Yeah,
I've been knowing
gotcha.
her since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Ms. Corpus.
Thank you. Mr. Smith, do you want to call your next witness?
I call Ms. Winifred
Into the mic, please.
Winifred Corpus, please.
Good morning, Ms. Corpus. I need to swear you in. If there's a Bible there, do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in this cause shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Smith, you can proceed. We call it vertically challenged.
Did you receive a text stating to vote for basically the same people that was already in office?
Yes, I did.
Is it the same text? Is it the same text that your daughter received?
Yes,
What time did you receive your text?
6 a.m.
Okay,
Same.
that's all I have.
Thank you.
Well,
Board members, do you have any questions of the witness?
Yes, I do. Ms. Corpus, when you received the text, had you already voted?
oh, yes.
You had. Okay. Thank you.
Ma'am, could you clarify, since you received the text at 6 a.m., did you vote by absentee ballot?
Well, I early vote, and
No, I don't know.
I early vote all the time.
There were no
I-
early
I-
votes cast in this election by anyone, the Godwin voters.
Oh, well,
Uh,
if that's the
there were-
case, then my vote did not count because I always early vote because I work for the Board of Election.
You're a precinct official. Did you vote absentee?
Well,
There were 5 absentee ballots.
that must have been me. I know I had to have been one.
Okay, thank you. And Madam Director, you can confirm for us. Thank you. She'll look it up for us and give us the answer. we're sorry to put you on the spot about it.
That's
We know
okay.
it's been several months since the election occurred, but thank you for being here today and giving us your honest recollection of the events. Are there any other questions by the board?
Yes. Do you ever receive texts of personal nature from her, or is it just professional?
Yes, she and I are friends.
Your friends? Okay.
Just one thing for the board. Remember, whenever you're using her, she, to specify who the
Okay.
person is you're talking about. Thank you.
Thank you, Helen. Mr. Smith, do you have any other questions?
No, none at all.
Any board members? If not, you can have a seat and don't leave, though.
Ms. Corpus, thank you for what you do for us.
Yes, thank you. Okay, Mr. Smith.
Next, I'd like to call the former mayor, Ms. Deborah Tu.
I'm sorry, could you say the name again?
Ms. Deborah Tu.
Deborah Tu, thank you. Ms. Tu, is there a Bible there for you?
Yes,
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in this cause shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So
I
help you
do.
God. Thank you, and thank you for being here today. Mr. Smith?
Yes, did you receive a text stating that to basically vote for everybody who was already on the board?
yes, I did.
What time did you receive your text?
At 6:15 a.m.
6:50 a.m. That's all I got for her.
And Ms. Tu, did you vote on Election Day?
I did.
Thank you. Do you, after receiving this text, did it influence your decision on who you would vote for on
No.
Election Day?
No.
Thank you.
Is that it?
What time did the polls open?
I think it's 7.
6:30.
6:30. Yeah,
What, you voted on Election Day?
I did.
At what time?
I'm not sure. It was in the morning, but it was not extremely early.
That's all.
Thank you, Ms. Tu. Are there any other questions?
Same question as before. Oh, go ahead.
I do have one thing to say. If you have your witnesses testifying to a question, then the board can't answer that question. It's for the witness to answer.
Correct.
Yes, I have a question.
Wait, Ms. Tu,
Oh,
Ms. Tu? We've got other
I have a
questions
question.
from board members.
Do you usually receive texts from the clerk?
I do, as a matter of fact. I am president of the Godwin Community Watch, and she is an officer on that board as well. And I communicate with her about getting messages out, informing the citizens that an upcoming meeting is scheduled and the basic format of the meeting. And she's always handled it very professionally, very willingly.
Thank you.
So your relationship with her is professional, or do you have a personal relationship as well?
It is professional, I
It is
would
professional.
say.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Any other questions?
That's it.
Not? Thank you, Ms. Tu.
Thank you.
Mr. Smith, do you have any other witnesses?
No, I'd like to call Winifred one more time to the stand.
Recall Ms. Winifred Corpus,
Yes, ma'am.
and you already sworn, Ms. Corpus.
Had you already told somebody that you had voted before you got before you got the call or the text? Did you tell anybody that?
My family, they know I early vote.
Okay. I want to know that. That's it, because it's interesting
Any other questions?
how everybody knew.
Any other questions?
Oh.
If not, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Corpus. Do you have any other witnesses you want to call?
No, not Lisa.
Well, I would like to call Ms. Nakia Corpus, since her name has come up here.
She's not here.
Oh, I thought you said she was here. Oh, she didn't, I knew she was not subpoenaed. The only other witness scheduled here today is Jacqueline Cooper Kelly. And Ms. Kelly, there's a Bible there for you. I'm going to swear you in again. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in this cause shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you. And thank you for being here again today. Ms. Kelly, you have heard the testimony here today, and you also testified in our original hearing in December that I believe your testimony at that time, is the way we understood it and recorded it, was that you had sent a text attempting to influence the voters in the town commissioner's election to only 2 people. Is that still your testimony here today?
No, when I was asked that question, it was based on me sitting or being at my job. There was one person that I texted at my job, and I took a break, went into the bathroom to make that text. And as far as the other people that were text, that was done laying in my bed.
And how many people did you text laying in your bed?
The ones that are here, including Nikia Corpus.
How many people altogether did you text about attempting to influence the outcome of the Godwin Town Commissioner's election?
Let me count up real quick.
Okay. Well, just go ahead and list them to us. What time of day, on what day, and how many you texted?
Okay, so I text Miss Deborah too, and I do have a copy of that, and it's on my cell phone.
And what time of day?
And it was 6:10 in the morning on November the 4th.
Okay.
Okay. Then there was Mr. Curtis Fort.
Mm-hmm.
I text him at 6:23, and that was in the morning. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. It was 6:09 in the morning on the 4th. Let's see. Winifred Corpus, Patrina Corpus, and Nikia Corpus. And that was at 6:13 a.m. on November the 4th.
Did you text anyone else with regard to this election, either on election day, during the early voting period, or absentee voting period?
No, ma'am. But Ann Smith was the only one that I had texted while I was at work.
Is that part of your regular duties, or is that a personal, just calling out to the people?
No, like I said, I was in my bed when I made these texts, and then when I got to work, I had forgot about her. She just popped in my mind, and I said, okay, I did not text Ann because we're friends. So I said, well, let me just take a break, and I took a break, and I went into the bathroom, and that's when I texted her. So it really was an afterthought, and I really didn't think about, okay, I'm at work. I wasn't trying to, be devious about it. I just didn't think.
Are there other questions from board members?
Yeah. No, go ahead.
In the text message that was sent to Patrina, you had mentioned you weren't able to call her, or that you didn't get a chance to call, but you wanted to send a text. Mm-hmm. Were there other calls that were made out similar to the text message in that verbiage?
No, I made no phone calls, and I sent no emails.
Were there other texts other than on election day, leading up to election day?
No, ma'am.
So I appear to remember very clearly us asking you last time around how many people you texted, without any qualifications of whether you were at work or not. And you said 2, and now there's more. And then I find it a little odd that you texted the people that you have a professional relationship with at 6:10 in the morning, and the people that you are friends with from work at 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm kind of
Well-
I'm trying to square this in my head, and it kind of doesn't work
Right.
for me.
Well, when I said that, I was only thinking of Ann Smith because she was the one that I was at work and text. I wasn't thinking about anyone else. And then when Curtis was here, I was like, but I kept thinking in my mind saying, oh, Curtis, I was in bed when I text him, but he's here, so.
Yeah, but you texted people that you have a professional relationship with at 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't text anybody at 6 o'clock in
Okay.
the morning. I find that kind of odd.
I would just ask this question of you. So the last time you were here, as I recall the testimony, you acknowledged to us only those texts that we had witness testimony of, and it seems to be the same today. So I just want to ask you one more time. Were there any other people you texted or called during the early voting period, absentee voting period, or on election day attempting to influence their votes? And this is not necessarily on duty. I'm just trying to get the big picture in the town council race in Godwin.
No, there were no other.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other questions?
Do you have a reasoning on why those folks that you text message were chosen out of everyone that you know?
Well, they're basically friends. Miss Deborah, we do have a professional relationship, but I do know her outside of the professional relationship. So I wasn't going to text people I didn't know. I wasn't going to do that. So these are people that I know that are in my circle, and I had their cell phone numbers. I didn't have to get them from the town hall. I've had these numbers forever.
Are there any other questions? Mr. Smith? Okay. Thank you very much. We appreciate your presence here today and helping us out with this
And
case.
did you want a copy of the text, or you're good?
If you have them, that would be
I
perfect.
do.
If you'll circulate them to us, and then we'll be able to accept them into evidence.
Appreciate it.
These are the same, right?
Yeah, that's
And you may want to have her verify that those are text messages from her that she printed off from her phone. Her phone to others, to have it in the record.
Ma'am, could you come back up just for a second?
And I'm essentially saying that because the board's not going to know what you received.
Ms. Kelly, could you just verify to us what these are copies of?
They're from my cell phone. I have them all on my cell phone.
And these are the ones sent on the morning of the election,
Yes, ma'am.
correct?
Yes,
and
ma'am.
They're to the three members of the Corpus family, and to whom else? Mr. Fort
Yes,
and
Miss Two.
and
Deborah
Miss
Two.
Two. Thank you very much for the record. Appreciate that. We appreciate you providing those today. Thank you. Is there a motion as to the copies of the text messages that the town clerk sent? Is there a motion to accept those into evidence?
so moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? If not, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of accepting the copies of the text messages into evidence, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And there are none opposed. That's unanimous. And just for clarification in the record, those are the text messages from the three Corpus, members of the Corpus family, from Mr. Fort and from Miss Two, to Miss Two, from the town clerk. Thank you. Mr. Smith, is there any other evidence you have for us to hear today?
I'd like to call Curtis Ford up for a second.
You want to recall Mr. Fort? Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ford, if you'll step up to the microphone, please. Good morning, Mr. Fort.
Good morning.
If you put your hand on the Bible, and if you can get as close to that microphone as possible, we appreciate it. You do have a strong voice. Thank you. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in this cause shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
I just want to ask you, Curtis, other than the context that you get from her about the watch crew, do you generally talk or speak with Ms. Cooper?
Not on a regular basis, sporadically.
Okay, that's all I got for her.
Thank you. Board members, are there any questions of Mr. Fort? If not, thank you very much, Mr. Fort.
Mhm.
Mr. Smith, do you have any other witnesses?
No, ma'am.
If not, we will allow you a short closing statement, and you can approach the mic over there. Board members, are there any other witnesses you'd like to hear from? Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay. Mr. Smith, proceed with your closing statement.
Okay, my closing statement, I just wanted to say that she was dishonest in her last testimony. The question to you, from you guys to her, was not what time or did you text more than two people. She asked you twice, and she asked you twice, and she said no all four times. When you guys asked her, did she text more than two people? So to me, that she was dishonest on that. And being she is the town clerk, she do have access to the information of all the voters that's coming in to vote. And I just want to say, for the integrity of North Carolina elections, for the citizens of Godwin, in the honor of my cousin Ansman, I respectfully request that the board order a revote and restore fairness, legality, and public confidence in the voting system.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.
Can I say something? Right
You certainly may.
Mr. Smith, just to make it clear, we cannot order a new election. We can only recommend to the state board that they order a new election.
Right.
Okay? So what we're going to decide today is whether we will recommend a new election, and then the state board makes the final decision, right?
I like to say also, some of the questions that I heard from here had to be predetermined. That somebody had to let somebody know what the question was. When I asked Ms. Winifred,
Mr. Smith, I don't think that's an appropriate statement to make. I don't think any member of this board would have been in contact with these witnesses.
well, if you let me explain, I'll show you how. Okay. She asked a question to her about, had you already
She who? She who?
vote, Irene Grimes. She asked her if she already voted. That information didn't go no further than her family. But that was the first question that she asked her.
This is not an issue before the board today.
I understand
I appreciate what you're saying, and I understand. Madam Director, were you able to confirm what the method of voting was for
Yes.
the witness?
Ms. Corpus voted early voting at the Board of Elections on 10/23.
Does that not show up in our canvas?
Yeah, it should, because she has voter history. Everything was counted on her.
Thank you very much. The canvas information I printed showed absentee ballots, but not early voting ballots. I don't know why that's true.
They go into the precinct.
Okay, they fed into the precinct. So there were other early voters in this too, as well, correct?
I can pull that to see if there were any more in Godwin.
Would you do that for us? Can you do that here? Thank you very much. I think that'd be important information, because it's time for our board to engage in deliberation and discussion on the finding of facts and then applying those facts, the law to those facts. We're open as board members to a discussion of the facts, and I'm just going to let each member speak. Do you want to start, Ms. Grimes?
Start down there.
Okay. We'll
Please.
start with Ms. Eldridge.
Yeah.
I think Angie wants to say something.
Yes, did you have it?
I have 5 people in Godwin that voted early.
Voted early, and so they didn't vote absentee, but they voted early.
Absentee, go ahead, Bree, while I look up absentee.
It would be interesting to know if any of those 5 are any of our witnesses.
Well, she just confirmed that Winifred Corpus was one of them.
One of them.
Yeah.
Mr. George Cooper,
I don't need to know who. I just need to
Okay.
know if how many of the witnesses are. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, Bree.
It's okay, we need
I'm
the
still
facts.
deliberating in my mind.
I would like what I'm going over in my mind is every single one of those messages that were sent. She states and starts off with, "I didn't get a chance to call," and what that tells me is she's texting the folks that she didn't get a chance to call.
Right.
So who did she get a chance to call? Whether those calls were made on duty, whether those calls were made at home. So whenever you start a text saying, "I didn't get a chance to call you," that tells me I have called others. I just didn't get a chance to call you. So that's where I'm kind of at. So we obviously have proof of the text messages because we have them in writing, but calls, in my opinion, are similar. We just don't know how many or what time they were called.
So, adding to that, it does concern me that each time Ms. Cooper has been a witness before us, she has testified that the only texts she sent were the ones that had just been admitted into evidence.
I think this
That's
is one of the
concerning.
rare occasions where I completely agree with you.
I appreciate that, Irene. So it's up for us to find findings of fact. And I think one of the findings we would have to be, do you have the answer for us? I'm sorry, Madam Director, do you have an answer on the early voters?
there were no absentees.
So they were all early voters?
They were all early voters.
And do you have the are any of those early voters other than Ms. Corpus? Other than Ms. Corpus, we already know about, were any of those witnesses here today?
So,
That's actually
Do
public
we need to swear
information.
Angie in?
well, yes, she should be sworn in if you're going to receive testimony from her. And if you want to, she can remain where she's seated. But also make sure that any information that you're providing would be information that's public information.
Correct.
And not something that would be private.
Okay, that's fine. Voter history is public information. Angie, do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in this cause will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Could you help from the record and from the public records to indicate to us any of the witnesses or those mentioned here today who received texts or messages from the town clerk, did any of them vote absentee or early voting?
Just Winifred Corpus.
Okay, so the others would have been election day voters, is that correct?
Correct.
Thank you very much, I appreciate that. So I guess the first question we would have to answer is, and we discussed these at our last hearing, did the town clerk, while on duty at the Godwin Town Hall and while voting was taking place at the same location, act in violation of NCGS 160A-169 by unlawfully attempting to influence voters by texting citizens which candidates to vote for? Do we have a consensus on that? That's the first hurdle. I assume that would be a reference to Ann Phillips Smith, who gave her testimony 3 weeks ago.
Can you read all the questions?
Well, we have to develop the questions based on.
I know.
If someone has a no to that answer, I'd like to hear the clarification on why.
I don't have a no.
Okay.
If we have a consensus, we don't, we can take a vote if there's not consensus, but are we together on that one?
Yes.
Okay, so that we can move forward. If so, based on the evidence, do we have an idea of how many voters were texted by the town clerk? First of all, I would say while she was on duty. And then second of all, I think we have to, as a board, also consider the totality here in that the town clerk, this was the town clerk making these texts.
I think we don't have an idea, but we know it was at least 6.
We do,
Yes.
apparently.
Yeah.
Because like Ryan said, we don't know who was called, we don't know who was spoken to in person, we don't know any of that, but we have proof that there was at least 6.
Is there consensus on that?
I just wanted to mention one other thing that I'm wrestling with is, even though we asked her if this was a personal nature or if she's texted before, we know she has access to these personal phone numbers. So right now, between her saying it was only 2, now there's 6, I'm a little suspicious where she got all the numbers.
I think it's worth taking note in the record that, Angie, and you can confirm this, you have your laptop in front of you. I believe there are only 120 registered voters in the town of Godwin, and there were 45 who voted in this election. It's a fairly small group. It's a fairly small town. I would guess that everybody here today knows each other if they're from Godwin, and perhaps even has each other's contact information.
I don't know if this is the right place to put this, but I am very troubled by someone coming in here swearing or affirming to tell the truth, and then they do not, which is clearly what happened here, I think. So if this board finds it appropriate to refer this matter for further consequences, I would be in favor of that.
Well, we need to do our findings of fact first, okay? So I understand exactly what you're saying. It concerns all of us, I'm sure. At the same time, I think that Ms. Cooper chose her words very carefully at the first hearing. I recall that. I made note of that, mental note of that, how carefully she chose her words. So I believe that she believes she was giving us the direct answers and honest answers to our question, though they were perhaps not, but perhaps in doing so, it was somewhat misleading to us. And so we've had the opportunity at this hearing, and thank you, Mr. Smith, for getting us back to this point to hear a more complete story. So based on the evidence, how many, we apparently know that there were at least 6 texts sent, 1 during the workday and 1 before the workday began, all from the town clerk to voters in the Godwin Town Commissioner's race, which would be more than enough to change the outcome of this election if they were all influenced to change their votes. 2 of those who received those texts that we know about have testified. One that I believe Mr. Fort that he was unwilling to give us the answer to that question, whether or not he was influenced, and we understand that voting is a private matter, and one who, Ms. Tu, who testified that it did not influence her vote. That still leaves us, even if we give the benefit on that, that still leaves us with 4 people who received the texts who may have been influenced, and the outcome of their election may have been affected if they were influenced by the text and communication from the town clerk. So this is a question I would like to pose to the board members. Were the number of voters contacted by the town clerk encouraging to vote for or against a particular candidates for the Town of Godwin Commissioners sufficient to cast doubt on the outcome of the election of town commissioners? And I'd like to hear the comments from each board member on that.
I think what it does is it gives Mr. Smith a disadvantage, and I think an unlawful disadvantage in the sense of voting law.
I think we have only 1 of the 6 voters that had already voted at that point. We had Mr. Fort that told us that it's none of our business, which basically is none of our business. So with the one that has voted early, that leaves 5 where the potential was there to have their votes influenced. And for me, that's a bridge too far.
At least 5.
At least 5, correct. So for me, that's a bridge way too far. And everybody pretty much within the sound of my voice knows that I was very skeptical at the beginning of this. But the proof's in the pudding that I think what happened here should not have happened. Y'all know that I'm a big proponent of elections, but we don't do it this way. We just don't. And I know I'm getting heated, and I'm going to try and remain calm, but elections are too important for us to mess with them.
Well, for me, just the idea of someone calling while on work and making any attempt to guide someone's vote is wrong. So I don't see it working that way. That's not how it's supposed to work.
I just want to say that even though she said this was of a personal nature, they know she's the town clerk. So this may have had some influence, knowing it was coming from her in her role. And it kind of amounts to an in-kind contribution to the incumbents, where the challenger did not have the same opportunity to campaign for his race. So I don't know if maybe starting on election morning, he was already at a disadvantage. And to me, that's not fair. That the incumbents, unknowing to themselves, they had an advantage built in. And I know she has access to all these personal phone numbers where the challenger did not. But whether she had these numbers of a personal nature or professional nature, I have doubt. I don't know which way to go on it. So I don't know if I should err on the side of caution, but it has created enough doubt in my mind that he got a fair election.
Say the last part again.
That he received a fair election.
That he did
That
receive-
it was fair level. That was a fair level playing field for
That
the
it was
challenger.
or was not?
So for
That
him,
it-
you don't think it was fair?
No.
Okay.
There's just enough doubt. I don't know which way to go, but I want to give the challenger the benefit of the doubt to make sure he got a fair election.
Just to be clear, the burden of proof is on the protester, in this case, Mr. Smith, to prove by a preponderance of the evidence that there's sufficient doubt to cast, the sufficient evidence to cast doubt in the outcome of the election. Ryan, did you want to comment? You're not required to, but you look like you're in deep thought.
I'm definitely in deep thought, and I don't take this lightly, and I don't think I know, and none of us do. Elections we hold those dearly as we sit up here. I do think he was at a disadvantage. I do think her being a town clerk gives her an advantage as being on somewhat of a pedestal in the sense of I'm getting a text message from this person as a town clerk telling me how to vote. She wants them to stay the same. Maybe I should do that because obviously maybe she knows something I don't. So I think her utilizing her position, whether she called, whether she texted, whether I think is unfair to Mr. Smith. And I think there's enough contacts that she made in her position that caused an unfair election.
Thank you. I just like to make these comments. That first of all, Ms. Cooper, as a private citizen, had every right to do campaigning however she chose to do it. But there's a law in this state that does not allow her to do that while she's at work or from the town hall while she's working there as a town clerk. We have evidence she did that one time. We also have evidence that she did that 5 times before she arrived at work that morning. What we don't know, and what's unknown, in my mind at least, is how many other texts or contacts, phone conversations, or personal conversations may have taken place during the election day while she was on duty. because so far all we've really been able to hear in evidence is, all we have heard from the town clerk is what was already presented in evidence by others, and she then confirmed. I think it's an open question as to how much influence what she attempted to have during her work hours, not only on the day of the election, but perhaps also leading up to the election, because an election starts with early voting and with absentee voting weeks before Election Day. And so it concerns me, and in my opinion, it does cast doubt on the outcome of the election of town commissioner in this race. But that distinction between the evidence we have of how much of this was done while the town clerk was on duty and how much, according to her testimony and the evidence we've received, copies of the texts, occurred outside of her work, which would be entirely within her prerogative as a private citizen, I think is the question. But I do think, in terms of casting doubt on the outcome and fairness of the election, that my vote would also have to be in the affirmative. Is there any further discussion?
Nope.
If not, I would entertain a motion.
I move that we recommend to the state board that a new election.
If I may first, we need to have a motion as to the finding of fact. If I may suggest.
Go ahead.
Do you have a motion as to
No,
the finding of
please,
fact?
go ahead. Go ahead.
Is there a motion as to whether or not there's substantial evidence to believe that a violation of elections law, irregularity, or misconduct occurred, and it was sufficiently serious to cast doubt on the apparent results of the election?
So moved.
A
Thank
second.
you. Is there a second? Is there further discussion on that? If not, I'll ask for your vote. All those voting in favor of a finding that there's substantial evidence to believe that a violation of elections law, irregularity, or misconduct occurred and it was sufficiently serious to cast doubt on the apparent results of the election, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Not. That is unanimous. Thank you for your votes. Is there a motion? Is there a motion ordering that this finding be sent to the State Board of Elections for any further action within its authority, which would include the order of a new election if that's what they decide? And it's my understanding there must be a 4-1 vote at the state level to order a new election when this proceeds to them. And I do not know the timeline, but I would say this, that the most likely date for a new election, if the state board were to order one, would be on May 12th, which is already a statewide election day for runoff. If there are any runoff elections this year, it's an established election day this year. Is there a motion, is there a motion finding of findings to be sent to the State Board of Elections for any other action within its authority?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on that? If not, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of finding order of finding to be sent to the State Board of Elections for any other action within its authority, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? That's unanimous. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here today.
I have a further motion, if you don't mind.
No, I don't.
I move that with the assistance of the county attorney, we refer the former clerk of Godwin for further consequences based on the fact that she may have not been truthful in this proceeding.
Ms. Grimes, we would have to refer that to the state board because they do investigations and handle those sorts of things. And I think that's pretty much automatic, is it not, Angie? Our director, whenever we find an irregularity, whether it's with ballots or in the election process, we make a referral for possible investigation.
Yes.
Okay. And so I appreciate what you're saying. Thank you.
I just want to make
I
it
know you
clear.
feel firm.
Yeah.
I know you feel strongly about that. Okay. Is there anything else, members?
No.
If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Yes.
So just if you could restate and make clear what your findings are.
Okay.
And that way it could be formalized in the order.
Okay. The motion was that we find that there is substantial evidence to believe that a violation of elections law, irregularity, or misconduct occurred, and it was sufficiently serious to cast doubt on the apparent results of the election. And our second motion was to order that this finding be sent to the State Board of Elections for any other action within its authority. Okay, and I have that if you want it. Okay. Are we done?
Yes.
I appreciate your help very much,
Thank you.
keeping us straight. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Without discussion, I'll ask for your vote. All those in favor of adjournment at 10:55, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, and we are adjourned. Thank you all for being here today.